Welcome everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're joining from. My name is Berlin Mohammed. I'm Lifestyle Director, one of Opulence Global, and I'm your host for the month. And I'm joining from Anguilla in the Caribbean. So on our call tonight, we're gonna have our Senior VP for our products Crossfire. This call is for us to learn so much about the formulation, and the benefits and the case uses of our growing Safe Home Evolution product lineup. Tonight we're going to have, hosting this call, we're going to have Sanaz Human. Sanaz is our Senior Vice President and Chief Designer at Opulence Global. Sanaz has spent her early 20s learning about MLM and entered her first MLM business in 2002, quickly developing her business as a distributor. She eventually left the sales field and took a position at Opulence Global. With hard work, dedication, and perseverance, Sanaz has eventually risen to her current position, which is Senior VP with the company. Sanaz is fully invested in all aspects of the product development process and beyond, from research and development to manufacturing, distribution, marketing, and promotion. She takes pride in every product and all ingredients used and is proudly a product of the product, knowing that she is impacting the lives of people worldwide. Opulence Global Nation, please help me welcome my mentor and friend since 2010, Ms. Sanaz Human, who will be joined by David O. And David O. graduated from the University of Toronto with a BS degree in biology, chemistry, and physics. He continued his education, receiving his APMR in the pharmaceutical industry. David's career led him into the operating room as he eventually specialized in laser applications in urology. He introduced new modalities and the treatment of benign prostatic hyperplasia, and he's certified as a clinical trainer and laser engineer for the KTP and lithium triboride technologies. He worked with leading urologists to improve men's healthcare. Reaching in the field of oncology, David introduced radiofrequency ablation of inoperable tumors, providing new hope for patients with liver and kidney cancer and children with osteomas. Over the past 12 years, he worked with consultants to gain FDA 510K acceptance on new groundbreaking technologies, developing partnership with 2 other collaborators. His work extended to the skincare industry for product development, regulatory compliance, and registration. David joined Opulence Global in 2017, recognizing the incredible value of Fairy Flawless as a world-class product that delivers on its promise of anti-aging. His enthusiasm continued with a Fountain of Life, which is the most powerful antioxidant from nature. David is honored to be a part of this incredible journey as Opulence Global changes the lives of people around the world. So at this time, I'm going to welcome David O. and Sanaz Human to the call. And
thank you so much, Berlin. A good night to everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Amazing. So we got Canada in the house, United States in the house. We got Caribbean, we got Israel, we got Australia. We got, where else? Asia is in the house. I know we got some folks from Asia on as well. A good night, everyone. Oh, I see Philippines. Raymond's always there from Philippines. We got Singapore in the house. Good night, everybody. Good morning to you. If you're just waking up, a blessed good morning to each and every single one of you. It is so great to always be on. And, I really, really look forward to these calls. Take a moment and put in your local team or local chat, our call for tonight, please. And make sure this morning so everyone is aware of our amazing, amazing call. A good night. Hello, Maria. Welcome, 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 everybody. I am super, super excited to be here. And hello, John. We got Vancouver in the house. And Sheila says, I'm here from Ottawa as well. Dun, dun, dun. I love it. I love it. I love it. And again, one of the things that we want to do is that when you have a brand new partner, if you have a guest, and if you are just brand new, and this is the first time that you're joining us on this call, I want to say a good night to all and welcome you on as well. I do actually see Alan on as well. Just give me a second, Alan. I'm going to bring you on and just give me a second here. We actually have another special guest tonight, and he is no stranger to any of you folks. You all had a chance to meet him at our product conference that we just had. Hello, Stella, all the way from UK. And there is Alan. A good night to you, Alan. How are you?
Good evening.
Good to
Wonderful.
have you on.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Yes, always a pleasure to have you on. And for those of you that didn't get the pleasure of meeting Alan, I think everyone knows you as well. They were on the Zooms. They're playing the replay. Alan is part of our amazing team of course, advisory board, scientific advisory board. This gentleman has been instrumental in helping us with the development and the execution of bringing out the incredible product called Phytoclinical, which, by the way, is in the works. We haven't forgotten about Phyto, and I know there's a lot of excitement and a lot of buzz about this incredible product, Alan, that is coming out. I just want to give our listeners a couple of more minutes to just get on. Today, is one of those nights. I think it's super early in the morning in Asia. I think for some countries it's 7 a.m. I think for some it's 8 a.m. They're just waking up, so they get a chance to wake up to us and their training as well. And in Asia, let's start with that, because I remember when I was in Philippines, Alan, and one of the big things that's a big problem in Asian countries is the mosquitoes, and as well as their water. And maybe what we can do is we can talk a little bit about some of the benefits. I was reading some of the amazing things that was written about Phyto today, and I was just, as I was reading this, I'm like, my God, there's just so much meat and potatoes that we got to teach all of our partners. So it's so important. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, team. I know some of you are just kind of getting your notebooks ready and taking notes, and I wanted to just say hello, Alan. Say a couple of words, Alan, before we kick off the call. So while everyone puts themselves together, Raymond says, I'm getting a coffee, Alan, wait.
Well, it's very exciting to be on. And I know I want to affirm with you that, yes, Phytoclinical is very much on our mind. Emails shooting back and forth and questions being answered, and this, curveball being handled. And it is tremendously exciting to see this come together. And I know that everyone will understand when they get their hands on a bottle of this, why it took the time that it took. It's going to just be so great. And you mentioned mosquitoes, and you mentioned water, and of course, I think that's just a beautiful application for FOL around the world. A couple of drops in the water. If you have a mosquito bite, you can put a drop of FOL on, rub it in. Actually, I got bit. I don't even know what I got bit by the other day. I have been going to the ocean and going in the ocean pretty much every day. So I don't even know what it was, but I had this welt on my leg, and I came home and I'm like, I have lots of options of stuff to put on, right? But yeah. I chose Phytoclinical. So I put some Phytoclinical, rubbed it in, and then before I went to bed, I actually put on the Sterling. What a difference it made. Oh my goodness, it was so wonderful. It's so smooth, it absorbs really quickly. It doesn't get on anything. You just give it a few minutes, it's absorbed into your skin. And that never bothered me for the rest of the night. In the morning, got up and put a little more FOL on. I said Phytoclinical, FOL on it. And it was tremendous. It was just so tremendous. The Sterling, I'm just really loving the Sterling product. I use it every day. I use it twice a day on my face as well. I just love it that much. I've used the whole Fairy Flawless lot. Like, I've used all of the skin products. Did run out. I really loved, the night one, which isn't available. And so I just went to Sterling, and it's been so good. You can't see it, but if you might remember from when we were at the event, I did have, there's kind of a birthmark thing here, and it swells up once in a while. And ever since I've been using Sterling and a little bit of FOL on that, it just is gone. Like, you can't even see it. So I'm really, really excited about that. I have to tell you something else though too, because I've been using I know, and we're kind of wandering all over the place here, but as people get their coffee, but I've
It's
been using
okay.
the
Everyone's just kind of getting themselves together anyway. So we'll chit chat a little bit until we get into the meat and potatoes.
I've really focused on using the microsilver spray everywhere I go. So to the gym, essentially everywhere I go, and I've really, conscientiously got it out, and even where people, you go into somebody's place of business and they still have the pump of whatever it is that the alcohol, and I'll instead take out my spray and I'll just spray a little, and it's amazing how people just go, what is that? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And what is that? Well, it's a non-alcoholic. It's like this great product and lasts for hours. So I was at a doctor's office today. I did that. They ended up wiping down their counter with my microsilver spray, and it was so fun, right? And then they're like, "Hey, we're good for the day. We don't have to think about it again."
Yeah.
Which is true, right? I mean, it's true. So just had a fun
What
day.
I love about the spray, as more folks are just coming on, and we're gonna kick off the call in just a couple of seconds, is it's long lasting. So as we know, with sanitizers and with a lot of alcohol product, they work immediately and then they kind of dissipate. Where with a microsilver spray, it's long lasting. And what I mean by long lasting, it actually grows as it stays on the product or on the surface, or whether it's fabric, whether it's couches, whether it's gym equipment, like you said, if it's furniture, if it's your dog bed, if it's your cat's little tower that they climb up on. Number one, there's no alcohol. Number two, it's non-toxic. Number three, it doesn't actually have an odor. You just got to make sure you shake it, give it a good shake, get all the formulation kind of reactivated, and then be able to spray it anywhere you want. And that's actually something that I live by. I swear by. I go through bottles of it. And I protect myself. And there's been times, okay, I'll tell you guys a little embarrassing secret about me. There's sometimes in the mornings I like to cook my lunch fresh in the morning, so I usually do a little bit of a workout. After my workout, I usually have to shower right away because I work up a sweat, and then sometimes I try to cook before I go shower, and then sometimes I don't, and my hair sometimes smells like food, and I cannot go to the office smelling like food. So I sometimes take the microsilver spray and just kind of spritz it all around my hair and on my clothes, just to make sure I don't smell like food. And I've never smelled like food. So, and I love cooking with onions and garlic. So if you come into my house in the mornings, it actually smells like a restaurant, because I love to cook and I don't like to smell like a restaurant when I go. So that's another way it works. So with that, I want to say a good night, a good morning, a good afternoon. If you were just joining us, I want to welcome everyone to our amazing product Crossfire call tonight. I have two very special gentlemen on the call with me. They are no stranger to any of you. You've heard from them, you've seen them, you've heard them chit chat. And tonight I have the pleasure of course, having Alan on, which you've already been hearing from this evening or this morning, wherever you are, who's been instrumental in not only the regulatory, I'm going to say, and as well as the expansion, the growth, the write-ups, distribution of course, Phytoclinical. You saw him on stage with our amazing Jack, who also took you through all of the amazing attributes. Of course, Alan has become a product of all of the amazing products that we basically create and distribute. With his amazing scientific background, not only does he appreciate what we create, but the formulations, the effectiveness, the efficacy of the products, and as well as the fact of what we do in the creation and development. I'll let him tell you a little bit more about that, but we love having him as a part of our amazing scientific panel. He's owned pharmacies in the past, and he can say all those big words that I always joke around about, and he has a great way of being able to simplify really not only ingredients, but the effectiveness of not only Phytoclinical, but Fountain of Life and all of the amazing products that we have. So Alan, I want to just formally again say a good night to you and welcome you as well.
Thank you.
We also have, of course, who I call my right arm in the regulatory world. I've been working with him side by side since 2018. He's, of course, been instrumental in the regulatory and the expansion of our product line. Oh, he puts his camera now. He's like, okay, we're talking about me. Let me put my camera on. And of course, he's no stranger to any of you. Over 30 years experience. I always say 3 decades, so that I don't make him sound old, but he's still, as I say, 1999 plus tax, but he's been in the world of the science world for the past 3 decades, over 30 years experience. And I think, Alan, you're right up there as well, eh?
Oh, Sanaz, it's over 45 years for me.
Wow.
Yes.
So I have like 75 years of scientific experience sitting on this panel. And if that doesn't impress you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. I guess I'm the little baby, and with my 5 years, we're like 80 years, but you guys are the real meat and potatoes. I'm just the interviewer, but really that's what it is. Lots of experience on our panel, lots of experience in our advisory board. And I know both you gentlemen really appreciate what we do at Opulence Global. As you know, we don't take any shortcuts. Sometimes it does take longer. And I think let's start with that, because a lot of our new partners or new consumers, we have lots of new people that are using the product. We have lots of new product users and customers that are on this call as well. And Clinical, we talked about it last year and on our New Year's call, and we thought 3-4 months, people thought, okay, 3-4 months, they're talking about it, let's just get it out. And it's been almost a year. Coming January is going to be a year that we've talked about the Clinical. From your perspective, from your experience, from this industry, obviously you've been doing this, Alan, 45 years, David, over 30 years. What takes a product so long to be able to create, develop, evolve, and most importantly, put out into the marketplace? Let's start with the call with that. And Alan, we'll get you to kick it off since we're starting with Clinical.
Well, first of all, you have to make sure that your ingredients, so you get an idea in your mind about a product that you want to present to the public to resolve a certain situation. And so then you go look at the list of ingredients that have some scientific background that might interest you in the resolution of some problem. And this with Clinical, we were looking at how can we actually, I'm going to say, rebuild a damaged immune system, strengthen a current immune system, and make sure that, so immune system has memory. Like somebody said to me today, isn't it funny, people, they're getting all these COVID boosters, and what if we would have had to have the same number of measles boosters or something like that? We never had to have that because we have antibodies. We have this memory in these cells in our body that say, okay, we had this and we're going to remember that's an invader, and if it ever comes again, we know how to create an army to go out and fight that. And one of the amazing things about the ingredient deck in Clinical was our intention, was to create an ingredient deck that would encourage those types of cells, and there's many of them, there's too many to talk about, in our body, but they have this cellular memory. They hold memories of things we've already been exposed to. Like if anybody was outside today doing whatever, they were exposed to 30 to 50,000 viruses. That's just kind of our daily exposure to viruses. And you didn't get sick. Why? Because your immune system has already got a plan of action to take care of whatever you're exposed to. And Clinical encourages our immune system. It helps the memory of our immune system to do that. And if your immune system is, let's say you've had a severe infection and there's something resulting from that. Now you can't breathe as well as you used to, or your hair is falling, something, your hair is falling, something like that. So we look at, how the immune system plays a role in that. And the ingredient deck we put in there addresses these at a cellular level. So it's not an overnight program. It's something that you take on a regular basis to keep your immune system finely tuned. That's what Clinical was all about. It was built for someone who had an extremely damaged immune system with cancer. And, then it just expanded from there. So we look at the ingredient deck, we look at where we can find those ingredients. There's no ingredients in our product from China. And I want to make that point because, we ran into a lot of trouble with companies having ingredients in China over the last little while. We don't have any ingredients made in China. They're all either Japanese or North American ingredients. So we have the, I'm going to say so what we do is when we get those ingredients, we do a quality assurance test on those ingredients.
Mhm.
When you put them in a capsule and you let them settle for a while, 7 to 10 days, depending on the ingredient deck, then you do another quality assurance on the capsule to make sure that your ingredients are there and they're bioactive. There's nothing contaminating them. So it does take some time to put that together from a science point of view. And then in this last little while, what we've run into, of course, is the supply chain issues, which has been, nothing that we could have predicted. So, while our original goal was within reason based on previous experience, supply chain issues have just, I was talking to someone yesterday about a new product they were putting together, and their manufacturer said to them, yes, we can do that for you. We'll have it ready for you. Just listen to this. We'll have it ready for you December of 2025.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to my world.
Right, exactly, right? So I want to let people know, like, they've been waiting this year. You've worked extremely hard. Jack's worked extremely hard. We've all worked hard to expedite this product during this really precarious time, to put this product together. And, it's coming together so beautifully. So I want people to know that, like you said at the beginning, we hadn't forgotten. No, it's front and center, and a lot of work has gone on behind the scenes to secure capsules, to secure bottles, to secure ingredients, to secure everything during a very challenging time. So
Absolutely.
You've done an excellent job.
Thank you so much, Alan. I appreciate it. I want to reiterate a little bit about what you said, because one of the first things, so just so you all know, as a company, you've all seen we are growing. During the pandemic, we didn't slow down. We sped up massively. We heavily invested more into our infrastructure. We heavily invested into our product development. We invested into raw materials, which is the most difficult time, by the way, for us to source. And I want to let you all know that I've actually hired an in-house designer now to take over my position as a designer in the company, so I can overlook operation and production. That's how much we are investing into this company. So we have some pretty cool surprises for you guys. There's lots happening, but I want to talk and reiterate what Alan talked about. And then I want to get David to say a couple of words about that, because that's also really, really important from a manufacturing standpoint. So one of the first things that I needed to understand was raw materials. So Fountain of Life is quite simple. Fountain of Life is one active ingredient. It's basically one supplier. It's basically, we now have, the world exclusivity on this amazing product, which we're going to get there and we're going to talk about. But comes clinical in the middle of a pandemic where you can't source materials, where you can't get raw materials, where you can't get supplies, where you can't get bottling, where you can't get caps. And, there's like 365 days. And then majority of plastic and bottling, by the way, comes from China. And when you have 70 provinces in China, which are primarily the plastic, provinces, get shut down, guess what? It just completely and utterly shatters the world when it comes to production. So I want to share with you one of the things that when it comes to raw materials, I'm talking about the ingredients. As you know, we have grapeseed extract, we have zinc, we have vitamin E, we have all these really cool ingredients that are in phytoclinical. And I had to understand what it meant to be able to source, because as we know, China, India, these are like the monsters of the world where they can source anything. You give them anything, they can mimic anything, they can make anything, you can source anything. But is it effective? So that was what I had to understand. And so when Jack and Alan were speaking with me and they were explaining to me that, yeah, obviously when you buy, a certain ingredient from France versus China, there's a huge price difference between the yen and of course the euro,
Franc.
number one.
Euro.
Number two, when it comes to the raw material costs and the extraction, when you have a more higher grade ingredient or you have something that's more efficacious when it comes to the development and the creation and activates in your body, that's very important. Number two, we want to be able to give you a product that once you put into your immune system, you are going to optimally see results. One of the biggest problems, and I want to share this with you, one of the biggest problems that we're facing in the world is that companies are creating product for profit, not for you as consumers to benefit.
Yes.
And this is something that Opulence Global is 100% against. We want to make a difference in you. You are valuable to us, each and every single one of you, whether you are a partner, whether you are a customer, whether you're looking at our company for the very first time. Each and every single one of you is important. Each and every single one of you, we want you to have success. The concept of network marketing was developed and created to be able to bring the best ingredients and best formulations so that you could proudly talk about it to your consumers. Well, if you don't believe in the product, how do we expect for you as a company to go out there and talk to your customers? So we may not be the fastest, and we don't want to be the fastest. We've seen many network marketing companies, by the way, run out of products. We've seen many network marketing companies run out of commissions. They've run out of money. They've gone bankrupt. They can't ship inventory. They can't. Now, with us as a company, we always do things the best we can with the experience that we have. And we have a phenomenal team with tons of experience. And you know what? So far in the past 18 years, I think we've done great. We've never missed a day of commission. We've never run out of our raw materials and products. It is only now we are sold out of the microsilver quad AG. And by the way, I could have brought that back, but since we're rebranding the whole lineup for next year, it didn't make sense for us to bring back one product rebranded. So we're going to do the whole thing. We're going to do a launch party for that. We're going to actually do a party at the office. We're going to do a Zoom party. We're going to basically celebrate when we relaunch it. And that's the right way of doing things. Clinical, when it's time for us to do the pre-orders for all of you to have the opportunity to be able to purchase it, again, we're going to give you that as well. But I want to tell you that everything that we do works. It's effective. They're real ingredients with real results. So David, you've been instrumental. When you and I met, when we created our original Fairy Flawless, this is where it all started. We started with Fairy Flawless. We basically gave our scientists an open budget and said, go bring us the best. Go and bring us something that's going to work. Go make something that is going to be so powerful for our consumers to come back and want more and more and more. And this is how our personal care really started off with the Fairy Flawless lineup. And it has just been growing. It has been developing. And I'm so proud of everything that we've been able to create since 2018, because we have just come such a long way in our developments, in our formulations, in our ingredients. So let's talk a little bit about that with our audience tonight.
Well, yes, I think the one thing that you should understand at the very beginning, before we entered this space of health and wellness and beauty, there was a conversation, and the conversation was pretty simple, is that you wanted the best. You wanted Botox in a bottle. You wanted to see a product that was effective, not full of promises and hot air.
Mm-hmm.
I think that message was loud and clear, and to our chemist who developed this and did a phenomenal job. He was taken aback by that because he said that's never happened. And usually there's restrictions placed on him, blah, blah, blah. And he said, and I understand that. Like I work in that environment all the time where people are saying, I want the best, but I don't want to pay. You'd be surprised how many people say, I want the best of everything, but I'm not going to pay for that. And you say, well, what do you want to pay for it? And then when you sit down and pay for it, you say, well, that's not possible. The ingredients you want, the product you want is going to cost you 10 times that or whatever. And they're going, well, I don't want that for my clientele. They said, but I want it to look like the best. That's what they say. I want it to look like the best, but they're willing to compromise on that. So it's an interesting conundrum, that I see out there. But with the Fairy Flawless line, it was, you gave our scientists carte blanche to make something that was different, that was effective, and that was produced. And I think that people who've used the product have seen the results of that. Some unique ingredients. So that's how my conversation started with Sanaz and Ramin. In fact, I was just wandering through the office. I can't remember why I was wandering through your offices, but I was, and I just walked to Sanaz and I said, "Oh," I said, you should, and I remember my opening conversation with her. I said, "You must be very proud of this line." I said, "I think you should be." And then Ramin stopped by and says, "Well, why would you say that?" And I said, "Well, if you take a look just at the ingredient list itself and what is inside of that, I do know that you have a true anti-aging product." And he goes, "How do you know that?" And I said, "Well," and then you challenged me. You said, "Well, can you write something down to prove what you're talking about? You're just talking." I said, "Sure." So I wrote it down.
Challenge you?
Yeah. Well, you said, "Can you prove it's in writing?" I said, "Yeah, I could write something for you." And, and that's where we started the whole thing of, what was it? Was developed by nature, but I can't remember.
Created by nature,
Created by
perfected by
nature.
science.
Yeah, perfected by science.
Give
I was
us
sitting in
5
that
minutes,
room.
we'll turn back the clock 5 years.
I remember sitting in that room thinking about all that, going, I wonder what they really want, what are they, because I didn't know you at that point. I didn't know Ramin.
Yeah.
But I started writing this all down. I had all sorts of ideas came because the products were that good.
Yes.
It wasn't a question of me sitting there going, "Oh," I hate it when you're sitting there looking at a product. Well, what can I say that's nice about this product when it really isn't nice? But, within a few minutes, I had a ton of stuff, that I could share with you because I thought this is really nice. I was just looking at the ingredients. I hadn't tried the product. I had tried iterations of that to be, as I mentioned, that we did fool around with the ingredients at one time. And it was really, really important for people to realize that that was the opportunity to launch something that was meaningful. And and it has been a phenomenal line of product. This is going through evolution. Skincare goes through evolutions every 6 months to 2 years, and here we are. But it's lasted that long. So it's just a normal evolution of product, and people should be excited what's coming down the pipeline.
One thing I want to reiterate, and both of you gentlemen, I want you to kind of respond to that. I know this is something that I had heard when we got in the personal care industry, and I really, had to get educated as a consumer, because how many of you, first of all, let's get an audience participation. How many of you have heard that every 3 months you should change your personal care products because they will stop working? I had always heard that, because I'm a big person on beauty and skincare. I always want to look younger. And then, it doesn't make sense for you to change your products consistently. So I had to do some research. I remember speaking to David about this, and Alan, you will know this as well. A lot, and I said, "David, why do we have to change our, products?" Like, I'm not talking about, by the way, Opulence products. I'm talking about products that are out in the market that you buy in drugstores. And, I was told, well, because they really don't have great ingredients. A lot of them are toxic. It's good to just change your products because their ingredients are not very good. After a while, they just don't even work. They don't really do what they're supposed to do. So I said, well, I don't want to ever develop products that are going to be like that. I want to be able to create products that are going to be long-term. And this, by the way, started with our skincare, because they were like, "Oh, well, your skin gets used to it and you need to change your skincare all the time. And it doesn't really have the same effectiveness." And, I see, Alan, you're bopping your head. And I thought, this is not what we want to do in our company. We want our customers to be lifetime customers. So guess what? You better use damn good ingredients in your product, because if you want it to work, it's about longevity. And I'm living proof. I am living proof. For those of you who've known me or don't know me for as long as 5 years, go look at my old photos. Okay. Go look at our website. Go look at my Facebook. You will see a complete transformation in the past 5 years believe it or not, I'm almost down 80 pounds now because I just dropped another 17 pounds. For those of you that have been on these calls with me in the past year, you know that I hired a personal trainer and I have been working my butt off. And in doing so, and weight loss, what happens to your skin? It sags. And guess what? I'm working my buns off, not only working out, taking care of my skin, taking care of my hair, taking care of me, because good health is internal and external. So with a combination of phytoclinical, fountain of life inside of me, honest to God, I'm telling you, I am living proof of what is happening. You know, a couple of days ago, I was kind of getting a little bit of a sniffle in my nose. I went to a wedding and we were all standing outside. It was cold weather. Everybody got sick. And I'm talking not COVID, everybody just got a cold. Here's Sanaz. I'm totally healthy because as soon as I felt a little bit of that sniffle, I actually got home. I took 10 full droppers of FOL before I went to bed. I woke up in the middle of the night because I actually had like a sore throat and I couldn't swallow water even. And you know what? I literally took more FOL, got up, took, you know, 1 capsule of clinical, and then I went to bed. And honestly, woke up in the morning, I was back to normal. So this is what your products literally do for you each and every single day. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I have a couple of questions that I do want to answer tonight as well. I'm going to start the first one off with you, Alan. The first question that comes up, and I'm trying to get my screen. Okay, there we go. It says, can we be reminded about the T cells regarding phytoclinical, please?
For sure. So T cells are a type of immune cell in your body, and there's several types, but generally they're associated with, they're called killer T cells. So their job is to actually kill a virus, kill a bacteria, kill lots of a parasite or whatever, and they can be weakened over time. So one of the challenges, or one of the things that when people thought about during the COVID was the vaccine actually going to have a negative impact on T cell. And when we did a little study on that, and we found out that actually the phytoclinical is extremely good at helping, once again, the killer T cells, those important fighter cells, maintain their health and strength. And if they have been weakened, like if you got really sick, if you've suffered, with COVID or anything else, or COVID in combination with anything else, when you would take the phytoclinical, then we would immediately see that impact those killer T cells, strengthen them, renew them, and expand the number that was in your body. So that wow. means that you are having your immune system is recovering and it's going back to where it should be doing its job.
So Alan, a question, I'm going to just piggyback a second question on that. Someone asked me, if I'm not sick, do I need to take phytoclinical? And I was like, I'm not sick. I'm just taking it. But I want to hear, your words of wisdom, because there's a lot I can say, and I probably won't shut up for an hour because I'm such a big advocate of phyto now.
Well, yes. Should you take it? The thing about it is we don't know when our immune system is going to get attacked. We never know that, right? We're out and about. I was out and about today. I was in a very crowded elevator for the first time, since COVID was around. There was like 8 or 9 people jammed in this elevator. I was at the clinic. I was in the office there for a couple of hours this morning, doing different things. So I'm just around stuff. We're around people. Down the hall from us is Life Labs, where all the sick people are going to get their blood drawn, etc. So, you might feel really healthy, but you don't know how much your immune system is fighting to keep you feeling that way. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things that, when I first was introduced to this product, by Jack. I said to him, well, you know, I'm a skeptic, and you can't be a scientist and not be a skeptic. Okay, that skepticism and science they're brothers. And so I said, okay, I'm going to take it for a while, and then I'm going to stop taking it, because I'm a healthy guy, Jack. I look after myself, you know, I have for years, so on. And so that's exactly what I did. I took it for about 3 weeks, and then I stopped taking it. And within 2 days, I could actually feel the difference in my workouts.
Mhm.
Totally feel the difference. It was like, okay, now I know, right? I'm a reasonably healthy guy. I'm working out. I run 10K a day. I do all that kind of stuff. But now I know what that's doing, because whether you realize it or not, when you're exercising, when you're stressed, your immune system is in overdrive. It is fighting hard to keep you feeling really good. And so why not give it the help? I mean, why not give it that boost? Additionally, when we look at food choices, when we look at food sources, so, you know, I live in the downtown here. Our lobby right now is full of spud.ca, HelloFresh, all these food delivery systems. People aren't going to the grocery store. They're not getting really good, you know, quality, local stuff. And so we know that the food does not have the nutrition. David said this. I concur with David. The nutrition that's in food today is about 50% of what it was when I was a child, when David was a child. And that's just because of mass production of food. And it has to be picked before it's ripened, fully ripened. It has to be shipped. If it's shipped into this country, it has to be irradiated at the border, which takes out from the nutritional value. And by the way, that's one of the things I want to point out about phytoclinical. When we're doing the ingredients, it's not exposed to any of these adverse things that our food is. So those ingredients are extremely pure. The things we get from France, etc., it's extremely pure. And
sorry,
so, yeah.
Alan, I want to reiterate the reason it doesn't go through the same thing. I just want to reiterate that one more time, because I had to understand this part. Because all of your food, by the way, all of your food, it doesn't matter whether you're in Canada, anywhere you live in the world, if your food is basically imported into your country, it's got to go through radiation, it's got to go through x-rays, it's got to go through certain fermentation and sprays and pesticides and all this stuff, because different countries have different bacteria, different countries have different pesticides, different countries have different bugs and all this kind of yucky stuff that you really don't want to know. But the reality of it is that when we are using these ingredients in, whether it's our skincare, whether it's in your fountain of life, whether it's your phytoclinical that you're putting inside, because these are all medical grade or proven ingredients, they all have what's called the safety data sheet. They all have almost like a passport that comes with it that goes through that sort of, I'm going to call it a medical system that will certify that it doesn't have to go through that transport, because these are products that are going to go into your immune system. They're good for you. That's why, you know, Alan, one of the things that blew me away, you know, we need 50 milligrams. We're getting 50 milligrams. Where in one phyto pill, there's 300 milligrams of what we need, which is so powerful. And this goes back to exactly like Fountain of Life that David, you always talk about when it comes to how many milligrams of, you know, antioxidants that you need and how much you're getting versus what's in our food. So really our foods are just not what they used to be in any way. We need products to supplement. Now, David, I want you to talk a little bit about this, because not only in the phytoclinical we're seeing the same thing, and the Fountain of Life extract, it is all of those things, you know, those free radicals that we're being faced with every single day, the free radicals that we're not even aware that we are being exposed to each and every single day. And you know, Alan had it right on the nose, and this is something I've learned over the years. We're exposed to so much without knowing it, and prevention is so much more vital and important for your health than to wait until you're sick and then you're into panic mode. So David, let me hear from you in that perspective. Raw materials, ingredients, efficacy, what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's a big subject, but I think people should realize that you know, before they even sat down with Opulence, I bet you they didn't even know the word lignans.
Yeah.
I would challenge most of those people because I'll be honest, I'm among the same group. You know, I didn't know
Me
what the heck
too.
we're talking about. And you don't even know, like, you don't realize what you're lacking in your diet. Yes, we hear about that all the time that, you know, we're eating too many fine processed foods. We hear that every day. We hear all these things in the news from everybody, all the experts, but they don't really tell us what we're really missing and why we're missing. We think we should just augment our foods with vitamins. And everyone runs to the store and picks out a multivitamin and says, okay, I've done it, I've done my part, but they're missing out exactly what we're missing. And as we've gone along with this company, now we're learning we're missing sterols. And you're thinking, what else are we missing? You know? But again, do these products make a difference? And they got to really be honest with themselves and say, yeah, they really do. And I'm saying it as a user, not as a person that is here tonight on this call, but because I'm on the call. I'm telling you honestly that, you know, I had had arthritis for many years, you know. And one of the things that stopped me from doing is practicing martial arts. I did martial arts my whole life. And it's sort of funny because one of my associates, he just came number 2 in the world in karate, and he called me up and he says, shall we go? Years ago, I would have said, sure, let's do this. I fought the Budo champion of Japan just for fun and all that, and you learn really quick why they are champions. It's interesting. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about the word humility at the same time, mind you. But again, I was really reluctant to do this because I thought that I was saying to Yasser, who's practice karate as well. I'm afraid to throw a kick because I thought my leg would fall off my body. You know, it hurt that much. So, you know, but taking a combination of Fountain of Life along with Phytoclinical now has strengthened my knee to the point where I can do these things. I've regained that ability to do the things that I thought were lost and had given up. So again, it's your quality of life that's improved so much. And I can't encourage people enough to try this because what do you have to lose? Like really, you know, what you're going to lose is the pain you have every day, you know, the inability to walk upstairs, all these things that we're going, okay, it's because I'm old. Now, how many times people have said that to me? I'm old, so therefore I can accept that. And the answer is no, you don't have to. So we have choice.
We do. Can I, Sinez, can I give people a picture? People get this, I think they get it preached to them quite a bit that you can get all you need from food. So in 2005 to 2008, we did some food experiments, and the specific goal behind the use of food at that time was to affect our immune function. So just keep that in mind. The specific goal behind the use of food was to affect our immune function. And we found that in order to have any kind of impact, it would take 52 pounds of raw vegetables daily to even move the needle on your immune system in a positive direction. It's impossible to eat 52 pounds of vegetables every day. So while we do get some benefit from vegetables, what Phytoclinical has done, and you mentioned 300 milligrams, that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot of vegetables. Just like FOL, when you look at how much it takes to match the lignin pattern of FOL in food consumption, it's similar with Phytoclinical. So, you know, 52 pounds of vegetables every day. I don't know who could even afford that these days.
I was just going to say, with inflation costs, I want to see who can afford 52 pounds of vegetable a day.
Yeah, a day. So it was really, I'll tell you what, for us scientists, it was incredibly eye-opening. And then there was another test done in 2007, which was repeated later, where we literally went to, and we did it in Toronto, by the way, where we sent a group of people out and they went to health food stores, grocery stores, other outlets, and they just bought supplements of all kinds. And they came back to the University of Toronto. We put them through gas chromatography and to check for bioavailability. And I just 71% of the supplements that we purchased had no active ingredient. So in other words, there was nothing in there for your body to even get a hold of to do anything with. So when Jack and I got together and the other scientists that I work with, I mean, that's something we are completely committed to, which is one of the reasons why when we met, I knew this was a fit, because you're committed to that. We're, as scientists, we're committed to that. We're going to give something to people that works. They can count on it working. It's not fairy dust. It's not playtime. It's something that we know, we got the experience, and we know that it works.
Amazing. I want to talk a little bit about, different people, different results, and different feelings. We all have different immune systems. Our bodies react to different things. Even something as simple as drinking orange juice. My body may react different than you drinking too much water. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the ingredients, and as well, I want to talk a little bit about the effectiveness of clinical in just 1 minute, but I want to bounce back to Fountain of Life. We're kind of going back and forth a little bit. I got the both of you, so I want to get as much info as much as possible. And David, this question is for you, and of course, Jack, at any time you can piggyback on anything that you like as well. I have a client that says, I have a new Fountain of Life customer. She started to take the Fountain of Life last night and this morning. She's basically a smaller frame person, which is probably about 120 pounds. And I did tell her to take a full dropper. She told me that she's feeling bloated after taking the Fountain of Life. Should I advise her to reduce the amount?
For one, I'd like to know her motivation for taking it. If it's just for whatever reason, a full dropper, no, it's not going to cause her to be bloated. She's thinking that she feels bloated, and honest, to be very frank with you, she hasn't taken enough in her system to make any impact. I'm sorry, there is a commitment over time. If we take a look at what we call the enterolactone levels in the body, and we know that you take it goes up this way and then falls off. There's not enough enterolactone in her body really to cause her to feel bloated, right? We know that. So it takes time. Like with anything, this is not a drug. And the problem is that there's this feeling, I think, with a lot of people that start using Fountain of Life, or even going to be phytoclinical, they're looking at this as a drug, and it is not a drug. It's an augmentation to our diet, and in fact, a very powerful augmentation, something that we don't have, but they are not medications. And so in their mind, they're waiting for that reaction. We take something like we're taking a powerful analgesic with codeine, we're waiting for that impact. And they start imagining it, that this is happening. I guarantee you that they are not bloated after one dropper. I wish, and you know what, I really do wish it was that effective, that in one dropper that we start feeling a difference. And we've had more and more people just get on the product because they realize how powerful it really is, but it does take time for it to work. The studies show that it takes 60 days for it really to have some significant impact on the body. And really, they started seeing changes at 30 days. Some people say earlier, I've said earlier myself, but that's just because of the condition I was in. Mm-hmm. When you're in really rough condition, when you've abused your body, I've got pain everywhere, chronic pain. It's easy to feel a little more comfort when something is working for you a little. And that's what happened to me. So no, I would have to say no, that is not going to happen.
David, I do. I have another sort of, and then I want Alan to say a couple of words. I have another comment for you, but from what I want to share with you guys, you have to listen to your own body as well. But when you're taking the product, there's days where I take one full dropper. There's days that I don't take a full dropper. I take 10 drops. And then there's days that I take 40 drops. So I think we all know our bodies better than anybody else. And you have to listen to your body. You have to listen to your immune system. And you know what? Play with the formulation, like have some fun with it. Start with 5 drops, but be consistent. Consistency is really, really important. Then try 10 drops. If you're feeling a little bit down or weak, try a little bit more. If you feel like you're bloated, okay, try less. But like David said, the first time that you take a product, maybe it's just a new ingredient or new for you. You can't just blame everything on, a new product that you're taking. And by the way, I find that a lot of people tend to do that. I'm not just talking about our company. I remember a friend of mine started with a company, which I won't mention the name. It was a shampoo company, and all they sell is shampoos. And then she had just washed her hair, and I'm like, oh my God, your hair looks really, really good. This is back in the day. And she was like, yeah, it's this new product. It's a new shampoo. And, I think my hair is growing. And I was like, how long have you been using it? She's like, a week. I'm like, your hair doesn't grow in a week because of a shampoo. Like, that's overselling it. Right. So, and vice versa. So the thing is, don't ever oversell a product, number one, because then people will just kind of laugh and not take you seriously. And don't underestimate your product as well. And at the same time, don't stand up for your product. Look, one of the things that you all know is that we've been sending out a survey to all of you about Fountain of Life. By the way, if you haven't filled it out, I'm going to pull up the QR code. I need all of you to participate. I left in our women's chat group as well a comment. Please make sure you guys are sharing about that survey. That's actually to get more registration in other countries, but it's really vital and important to make sure that you listen to yourself and your immune system. Alan, I'll let you piggyback on that a little bit more too.
Well, I'm very excited that she actually felt something, because what it meant to me is that she has an unknown degree of inflammation somewhere in her intestinal tract, and phytoclinical's actually working. I would encourage her actually to continue to take it and get rid of whatever it is that is going on in her intestinal tract. And one of the things I think that people don't really understand is there's as many cells in your intestinal tract, in our microflora, as there is in the rest of our body. So there's about 8 to 10 pounds of bacteria of assorted kinds, good bacteria we call them, that help digest our food, they hold our DNA code. And so if she felt a little bit of something in there, I would be tremendously excited as a practitioner and go, wow, that's great. This means it's working for you. You could back off the dose a little bit, or schedule out a few more doses in a day, like 3-4 drops several times a day. But let's take care of that problem that's going on. It's going to disappear. And then your body can move on and use the FOL in other areas of your body that maybe it's because it's going to focus on what's on. It found something right now to work on. Boom, it worked. And I really love it when people come back to me and say, or they'll give me the feedback, I felt something, they felt something with that. I had a lady the other day, she said, I kind of got a bit of a headache. I'm like, wow, that's really terrific, because we now know you had some inflammation that you weren't aware of, which could have, evolved into something even more critical. So that's kind of how I look at those things.
I love it.
Well, that's a good, yeah, I like that perspective. It does make sense, so thanks, Alan, for that.
I agree. Amazing. Another question comes up for you, both you gentlemen. Now, this is one of those, words that David says like, blah, 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 and I kind of cannot pronounce it. So is there potassium in the Fountain of Life as the ingredient reads 7-hydroxymethanresinol potassium acetate? Oh, I did it, David. I read it without screwing it up.
You know what, that is the proper name of it. 7-hydroxymethanresinol potassium acetate. One of the questions a lot of people have, especially their kidney patients, is whether there's potassium in the product. Now, the official name is that, but I did check with Dr. A on this when, how many years ago? When we launched the product, because that was my concern. I said, what if we have, is it okay for kidney patients? Because they're going to come up with that question. And he says, no, that part of the lignin is removed during process. And he says, so there is no potassium acetate in it, but we leave the proper name intact. Okay, so that's a good question. But people should understand there is nothing, no potassium in the product whatsoever.
Amazing. Alan?
Yeah, people have to understand when we're dealing with Health Canada, they have their regulations and they're, I'm going to say, really specific. So they look at it and say, okay, this is the name, and that's the name you have to use. And you don't have any option. And so you don't have any option to explain on the label. But you know, there's many mineral salts that are attached to carriers. So usually it's calcium, sodium, potassium, magnesium, or something like that. But they're not they're not there to impact your level of mineral in your body. They're a carrier molecule. They're usually taken off in the gut and removed from the body, so they have no impact. The rule with Health Canada is if we had something like potassium, sodium, or calcium, which play big roles in our body, if they were there in some quantity, we would have to put that on the label and include it in the RDA. But they because, like David said, they're removed, they're gone in the process. They have no impact on the overall mineral levels in the body. It's a very common question. And it's just Health Canada doesn't give us the option to explain on labels. They require us to be specific in labeling with no option to explain like we've just done for people. So I hope that clears it up for them.
Amazing. I love it. Even I'm learning new things as well. I'm one of those that I trust, obviously our scientific team when we put products on. Our entire scientific panel is got so much integrity. You can see these gentlemen are extremely transparent, and everything that we do in the company is just formulated with you in mind, like I shared at the beginning of the call, to make sure it's safe for you, it's safe for your family, it's safe for longevity as well. So it's always great to make sure that you understand these questions, and of course invite people on to get on these calls to get their questions answered as well. I have another Fountain of Life question. David, I'll get you to take this, and then I have some Phyto I would like for Alan to reiterate. This is obviously coming from a brand new person, should you take Fountain of Life before or after a meal? And is it okay to just take it before bed? Great question.
You can take it whenever. This is is this not like some of the vitamins out there where you have to take with the meal? You don't have to necessarily take it with food. It doesn't have to be combined whatsoever. You can take it standalone. The ideal regimen is taking, according to the studies, is 30 drops a day, 10 drops in the morning. And after that study came out, what happened is the scientists took a little further on this because they're very excited about the study, and they started measuring enterolactone levels, and they found out that 10 drops in the morning, 10 drops in the afternoon, and 10 drops in the evening are ideal to keep that level consistent in our body of enterolactone. And enterolactone is just a very powerful mammalian antioxidant that's converted from Fountain of Life. Can you take it right before bed? Yes, you can, but some people say that their energy feels a little higher with it, which is understandable. So you got to know your own body.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to take something that can potentially stimulate you before you're going to sleep. It's not a stimulant, but for some reason, some people feel energized when they take it. Maybe it's because they feel less pain or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, reduced inflammation.
Yeah, reduced inflammation, so they feel better.
They feel better.
Yeah. So if you take it before you go to bed, you might not appreciate the impact of it. So it depends how you sleep. I can take it right before bed because I sleep like a rock all the time. So it doesn't bother me whatsoever. But for other people, yeah. So you got to know yourself. It's not unsafe to do so. It's just that it depends on how you react to it. Okay.
One of the things, David, for me, I find that with Fountain of Life, I sleep extremely well when I take it. And that's actually, by the way, that is a common testimonial that we hear of from many of our customers, where when they're taking Fountain of Life and going to bed, they actually sleep better. And if you're taking your full dropper, maybe you could take half a dropper in the morning, half a dropper at night. But I just want to reiterate for all the brand new people, there's no right or wrong time to take Fountain of Life. You know, for example, they always say like, I'm anemic, so I take iron supplements. They say, you know, take an iron supplement on an empty stomach. Don't mix it with other, you know, either supplements or even vitamins or anything else. Just have it on its own with some orange juice. So that's something that I tend to do in the morning as well. So really, you just have to take it when you need Fountain of Life. It doesn't harm any other product. Remember, it's not a cure, it's not a drug, it's not a medicine. It's a food source that you're getting. But at the same time, I want to reiterate, as much as it's a food source, it's also antibacterial and it's an anti-inflammatory. And majority, I would say 99% of the people that are on this call have some sort of inflammation in their body. They just don't know about it. And you know, it just happens with our food, with our diet, with our immune system, the way we carry ourselves, the lack of exercise that we have. You know, before we used to walk everywhere. We don't walk anymore. We used to go a flight of stairs. We don't do that anymore. We've got used to a lazy lifestyle of escalators and elevators and drive-throughs and Uber deliveries and food services being delivered to our doors. So we just don't get the same activity as we used to. So it's really important to make sure that you are monitoring your body, your immune system. Most importantly, understanding that your body is in an inflammation state. And by using these products, a combination, by the way, when I say combination, I'm not just talking about Fountain of Life and, you know, clinical. I'm talking about shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, Fountain of Life, clinical, the Sterling. It is a combination. It's a lifestyle. It's a regimen that you live by. That's what I live by. If you come into any of my bathrooms, you will see that I am a product of the product from the moment I step into the shower to what I basically wash my hair with. My mom today saw me and she's like, your hair is looking so beautiful. I said, Mom, the shampoo we created was meant to do this. It was meant to bring out the youth in your hair. And by the way, I want to reiterate to all the men and women, you will naturally have hair loss. I actually wanted to take a picture of my shower this morning when I washed my hair, because I had, like, you know, strands of hair that fell onto the ground after I rinsed out the conditioner. And sometimes, you know, people have messaged me and say, is it normal for me to lose hair? You're not losing hair. We all naturally shed hair, regardless whether you have short hair or long hair. Now, men, they have shorter hair, so it doesn't come up. When you have long black hair, it gets, you know, clogs up holes if you don't clean it up. So I just want to let you all know as well, when you're using the shampoo, conditioner, or if you have a brand new Fountain of Life customer, you know, sometimes they use products and they're like, oh my God, my hair's falling out. Your hair's not falling out. Your hair is just replenishing itself. And Alan, I know you're kind of bubbling your head there saying, yep, because this is part of our lifestyle. And, you know, it just like our skin sheds, except you just don't see your skin shedding as much as your hair. So I want to make sure that people are not freaking out, because your body is constantly in a form of transformation, from the skin shedding, your hair shedding, new follicles growing. That's why you need to take these amazing ingredients. So David and Alan, I'll get you to share a couple of words on that for you.
Go with
I think one of
it's normal.
Sorry,
Sorry, go ahead, Al.
well, one of the things I just wanted to say is, when people are dusting their house, just remember that the vast majority of house dust is actually your skin exfoliation.
Wow.
So yes, you do exfoliate your skin. I tell people I've never lost a hair in my life and know exactly where it went. It went down the drain. And but it irrigates your scalp. I like to use this term, like when you use that particular formula, what I found, it irrigates your scalp. In other words, you know, it takes all the deadness, all the scaliness, whatever, out of your scalp, and your hair is going to feel fuller. It's going to grow nicer. It's going to grow faster. So the product is actually really, really wonderful. I actually love the sensual. I have both, but I actually love the sensual. I really do. Yeah.
By By the way, we say for her and his, honestly, they're both unisex products. They both work very well, both on men and women. It's just, you just have to choose what it is. So ladies and gentlemen, the next time you're vacuuming your house and you see dust, just remember you're just cleaning up your own skin. That's a good one. And that's amazing. All right.
That's a good point.
Actually, sorry, David.
No, that's a really good point, to understand exactly what's going on. But cell turnover is really important for us. Cell turnover is very important in the quality of our life. One thing people don't seem to realize is this whole thing, then we're promoting that it gets rid of viruses. It's all part of who we are and the efficiency of our body. So let's not worry about cell turnover because it has to happen. It's a good thing for us.
Can I ask both of you gentlemen a question? David, how long does it take for our bodies to turn over the cells? Because I know that they say, how many years is it 7 years that your body kind of revamps its organs? Am I saying the right number, or am I?
I don't know how long it takes. Man, Alan, do you know how long?
Yeah. So yeah.
I don't know
so your bone is actually the slowest. And bone actually regenerates itself in about 7 years. So it's the slowest. Other areas of your body regenerate very quickly. Your skin is about 21 days. Your eye is every second day. You actually change the collagen. I'm so excited that collagen is coming as another product, because the vitreous fluid in your eye is almost 100% collagen. And we exchange that vitreous fluid about every 2 to 2.5 days. We have a completely new way to irrigate our eye. And because our eyes exposed to so much dust, dirt, etc., we are constantly exchanging that fluid out of our eyes. So it's brand new every couple of days. The epithelia in our intestinal tract is about every 7 days. So like David said, we're constantly turning over our cells. It's what we do to keep ourselves clean and regenerated and help our body function. So it's just an important part of life. It's a very necessary part of life. And actually, you don't want to try and slow that down. Anti-aging is not trying to slow that down. Anti-aging is actually when you can work with that process of cellular death, which is natural, and make sure that your body's doing it correctly. So what you're left with always is the healthy cells, and you don't have anything hanging around that's going to cause inflammation, right?
I love it.
Exactly. That's perfect. Thank you.
So we can all become youthful day after day.
Absolutely.
That's our goal.
Absolutely. That's our goal.
That's it. And you know what? I actually think that's exactly what's happening to me, because most people that see me constantly, they're like, wow, what happened to you? And I'm constantly like, I'm being a product of the product. And, I truly believe that by using these incredible ingredients, I'm living proof that they work. I know David had to have knee surgery, no longer. My own father, by the way, is living proof of that. My mom, my own immediate family, my aunt, my cousin, people that are very, very close to me that I know what their underlying issues, health concerns have been, are all living proof. But what I can promise each and every single one of you, this was not a yo-yo diet. They are consistently investing into their immune system. They are constantly investing in all of the products. And I'm talking about shampoo, conditioner, sterling, non-toxic formulation, non-toxic ingredients, formulations that work. So it is super vital and important for you to become a part of that Safe Home Revolution movement, Safe Home Revolution wave, because all of our products are not only amazing, but they're effective and they really do work. And I cannot believe that we've gone over the hour. I actually lost the out. I actually didn't realize that we went over, and then I got a message saying, by the way, we're over. And I went, oops, I didn't realize it. And it's just because there's just so much going on. There's so much great information here. And I can talk to you gentlemen for hours on end. We're going to basically continue this conversation obviously next week, because this call can go for 2-3 hours. There's just so much information and so much knowledge we want to share with you. This is why we do these calls every single Monday, same time, same place. I was going to say same fabulous people, but we got a new fabulous person with us tonight. And you'll be hearing more and more of Alan as well. And, you know, sometimes I won't be on, and the two gentlemen will be on together as well, just to kind of give you knowledge and experience. I know many of you, by the way, have been sharing your testimonials on this chat. And I know we also didn't get to some of your comments as well and information. So I do apologize. It has been a jam-packed event. One thing I need from all of you, please pay attention to this before you leave the call. Please pay attention, okay? As our company grows, I need your help. We need everyone to fill out the survey. We need you to help your teams to fill out the survey. We need your customers to fill out the survey. I cannot stress the importance of this survey. As a company, we want to grow. As distributors, you want to grow. You want to be able to bring it into more countries. This survey that we basically put out there takes maybe a minute or two to fill out. I know sometimes it takes time, okay? But the thing is that survey helps us as a purpose to help with the information and the data to expand into different countries. And so when you don't fill it out or you don't fully complete it, we can't use it. It's anonymous. We don't want to know your name. We don't want to know anything. All we want you to do is just answer the basic questions that are there. Thank you so much. Actually, Raymond just put the link on there. Many of you are saying you've already done your survey. I'm grateful for those of you who have done your survey. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. And, you know, we're really, really grateful. However, the rest of you need to fill it out. Do you guys want to know, when I looked at the number of the reports, remember what my target was? Can anyone remember what my target was? My target was to get 5,000 people to respond to the survey. We haven't even got 1,000 yet. Okay, so we need your help. We need all of you to contribute. Remember, you are the CEOs of your own company. And in order for us to get better, this is where I'm actually officially asking for your help. So please go out there, share the survey. Raymond just did a great job of posting it. We want to be able to help you. If you need to translate it into your language and do a Zoom call and teach people how to do that, please do. We need everyone on board to do that. All of your customers need to fill it out. We need your feedback. So I can't stress that enough. All right. So that being said, I thought maybe Alan and David want to say a couple of words. With that, I want to say thank you so much to everyone who joined us on the call. We hope we've taught you something new tonight. We hope that we've inspired you. We've educated you. We've excited you. Don't forget, this Saturday, I know tomorrow night we have our forensic call with our CEO. This Saturday, myself, our sales development manager, Daniela, and our CEO will be on a very special call this Saturday. You guys ready for this? We're going to be on a special call for all of you. Not only are we releasing something very exciting this Saturday, I won't tell you what it is, but make sure you're on the Saturday call this upcoming Saturday, 10 to 12. It's going to be an epic call. The poster is going to go out. So let's go, 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 go. Let's fill out that survey. And I know you guys will all be on the call tomorrow with our founder and CEO, with our forensic call. I will see you on the Saturday call. With that, to the billion, Alan, David, thank you so much for being on as well. And I'm super excited for everything coming. Verlin, thank you for doing such an amazing job at hosting and your patience as well. So to the billion, back to you, Verlin.
Thanks, Verlin, as well. Alan, thank you so much for the lesson. Much appreciated. Learn something all the time.
And Dr. Kell says hi, David.
Oh, say hello.
Yeah, I did.
All of you, Alan and David and Sanaj,
so
everyone,
much.
the call is still packed. Everyone who's joined the call, and we learned so much tonight. So thank you so much. And I just want to remind everyone to join our forensic call tomorrow, our testimonial call on Wednesday. And please continue to share the survey. I will do so too. And share the meetings and the reminders for the upcoming events. We have our Trinidad tour coming up on the weekend. Please invite, reach out to new persons. Everyone needs to hear and learn about this Opulence opportunity and our products. So reach out to new persons, build new teams.
Yes, Trinidad, Tobago. You better show up. It's going to be amazing. You got powerhouse people coming down, Maria Baptiste, Of course, Mavis, top millionaire Renee Liao is going to be in your country, Trinidad. Bring it on. And of course, I'll be in Ottawa the following week as well. I can't wait to see my amazing, amazing partners there. Verlin, I'm so excited, as well as, you know, not only do we have Saturday a massive, massive announcement, which is going to, I can't, if I say it anymore, I'm going to give it away. So I'll just shut up. I'll just leave it alone and I'll just wait till Saturday.
Give it up, baby. Pretend we didn't hear anything.
Remember, team, promote Saturday. It's going to be an absolutely epic event.
All right, everyone. So I'll close the call now. Thank you.
All right. Good night, everyone. To the
Good night.
billion.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Bye, Alan. Bye, Jack.